Have you ever left a hair salon feeling older than when you walked in? That moment when you look in the mirror after what was supposed to be a refreshing haircut and see your own mother looking back at you, and not in a good way. That disappointment was the catalyst for researching what truly makes a haircut age you and what makes us look younger. The truth is that most hairdressers have good intentions, but they don't fully understand the specific needs of hair after the age of 60. In this piece, we'll go through the 3 haircuts that genuinely rejuvenate your appearance, as well as the 3 that quietly add years to your look. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about looking like the vibrant, energetic woman you are on the inside. The starting point for these insights was a salon experience that became the catalyst for everything shared here. There was complete trust in the stylist. She had been cutting the hair for years, but what wasn't realized at the time was that the safe haircut she considered perfect for that age was actually making the wearer look tired, outdated, and yes, significantly older than 63. After that appointment, intensive research began. Top hairdressers who specialize in mature hair were consulted. Hundreds of before and after photos of women over 60 were studied. Face shapes, changes in hair texture, and the optical illusions that certain cuts create were thoroughly analyzed. The findings were surprising. The haircuts claimed to be age-appropriate are, in many cases, completely wrong. At the same time, some styles that were avoided out of a belief that they were too youthful are actually the most flattering options available. What follows is a detailed explanation of which 3 haircuts take years off your appearance and why they work so well for mature hair and mature faces. Then the 3 cuts to avoid will be revealed, even if your stylist recommends them, because they age you in ways you may not have noticed yet. This isn't about following trends, it's about understanding what works for your hair at this stage of life. Let's start with the first timeless cut, the textured lob. This cut is an absolute game changer for women over 60. The lob falls between the chin and the collarbone, typically about 2 to 3 inches below the jawline. What makes it rejuvenating is the texture and movement. After the age of 60, hair naturally loses volume and can lie flat against the head. A straight, one-length lob would only emphasize this. Instead, layers along the cut are the answer, not heavy, chunky layers, but soft, textured pieces that create movement and dimension. Ask your stylist for interior layers or point-cut ends. This technique creates pieces of varying lengths that move naturally and catch the light beautifully. The magic of the textured lob lies in how it frames the face. It should be slightly longer in the front and gradually shorter toward the back. This creates a gentle angle that directs the eye forward and upward, lifting the facial features. Soft layers around the face are essential as they soften the jawline and create that sought-after rejuvenating effect. For styling, it helps to allow a light wave or curve in the hair. Completely straight hair can look severe and actually make us appear older. Curl sections with a large barrel iron or twist strands while blow-drying, the goal is a soft, natural texture. Not tight curls, but light movement that looks effortless rather than overdone. Women who have switched to a textured lob notice the difference right away. People start commenting that you look refreshed and ask if you've been on vacation. The beauty of this cut is that it works for fine hair. The layers create the illusion of fullness, and it's incredibly versatile across different hair textures. The second cut may come as a surprise. The modern pixie. Before you say, "That's not for me," this is not your grandmother's pixie. The modern pixie for mature women is softer, longer, and extremely flattering when done correctly. The key difference lies in length and texture. Think of a pixie with at least 2 to 3 inches of length on top, with slightly longer pieces in front that can be swept across the forehead or tucked behind the ears. The sides and back are shorter, but not too short, more of a tapered cut than a shaved one. The overall look should be soft and feminine, not hard or masculine. Why does this cut work so well after 60? First, it lightens fine hair and makes the hair you do have look fuller and more vibrant. Second, it draws all attention to your face, especially your eyes and cheekbones, which are often our best features. Third, it's the ultimate low-maintenance cut that still looks polished and intentional, which is what gives it a youthful quality. Texture on top is essential. The stylist should create irregular, fragmented layers rather than a uniform, rounded shape. Razor cut techniques or point cuts that create separation and movement are ideal. You should be able to run your fingers through the hair and have it fall naturally with a slightly undone texture. The front section is critical. You need some length there to soften the forehead and frame the face. Whether it's a side-swept fringe or longer pieces that angle toward the face, this breaks up the roundness that can make pixies look dated. The helmet pixie should be avoided at all costs. Many women have experienced a transformation through this cut. The switch from a shoulder-length style that made facial features look droopy to a modern pixie can instantly take a decade off your appearance. The confidence boost is incredible. For the first time in years, you feel like yourself again. The third rejuvenating cut is the shoulder-grazing shag, pure magic for women over 60 who want movement, volume, and a current-looking style. This cut falls right at shoulder height or just above, the ideal point that elongates the neck without the weight of long hair pulling everything downward. What makes it a shag? Everything lies in the layering technique. A true shag has layers throughout the entire head, from very short layers at the crown to longer pieces at the bottom. This creates incredible volume at the roots and a great deal of movement throughout the hair. For mature hair that has lost its youthful fullness, this is transformative. Face framing is essential here. A curtain bang or long, soft layers that begin around the cheekbones are ideal. These pieces should be shorter in the front and gradually lengthen as they blend into the rest of the hair. This creates a beautiful frame that draws attention to the eyes and cheekbones while gently concealing any concerns around the jaw or neck. This cut works after 60 because the layers create the illusion of full, thick hair, even when your own has thinned. The movement and texture look youthful and current without requiring excessive effort. And most importantly, it works with your hair's natural texture rather than against it. Whether your hair is naturally wavy, slightly curly, or even straight, a shag enhances what's already there. For styling, this cut looks best with a bit of effortlessness. Apply a texturizing spray or mousse to damp hair and let it air dry or use a diffuser. You can also blow it out with a round brush for a more polished look, but maintain that fragmented, separated texture. It's not about perfection. It's about looking naturally beautiful and effortlessly stylish. The shoulder grazing length is particularly flattering because it creates a vertical line from the face down to the shoulders, elongating the silhouette. Long enough to feel feminine and versatile, but short enough to have body and life. Now let's talk about the haircuts that actually make you look older. Starting with number 1, the straight chin-length bob. This may be controversial because this cut is everywhere and many stylists recommend it as a classic option. But here's the truth. When cut straight and one length right at the chin, it's one of the most aging styles you can choose after 60. Why does it age you? First, a straight line at chin level draws a harsh, horizontal line right at the widest part of most faces. This emphasizes double chins, highlights any softness under the jaw, and makes the face look broader and heavier. Second, without layers or texture, this cut lies flat against the head and emphasizes fine hair rather than disguising it. Third, the strict geometric nature of a straight bob can look harsh against mature skin, creating an unflattering contrast. The psychological effect is also problematic. A straight chin-length bob often makes women look stern, hard, or unapproachable, the opposite of the warm, vibrant image most of us want to project. It can read as overly serious or old-fashioned, especially when cut in a single, movement-free length. Many women wear this cut believing it to be sophisticated and age-appropriate when it's actually adding years. If this is your current cut, the fix is simple. Ask your stylist to add interior layers for movement, create some texture at the ends, and cut it slightly longer in the front. These small changes transform the cut from aging to flattering. The takeaway is this: rigid, straight lines and our faces after 60 don't go well together. We need softness, movement, and strategic angles that work with our changing features, not against them. The second aging cut is the short, tight perm. This is a difficult topic because many women choose it, believing it will add volume and reduce styling time. Instead, it often adds a decade to your appearance and looks dated rather than stylish. The problem with tight perms, especially on short hair, is that they create a round, helmet-like shape that sits like a cloud on top of the head. This shape draws all attention to the roundness of the face and can make the head look disproportionately large. Tight curls also tend to look stiff and artificial rather than naturally textured, and they often frizz in humidity, leaving an unkempt impression that reads as old rather than carefree. Additionally, perms damage the hair structure, and hair after 60 is already more fragile and prone to dryness. The chemical process makes it even more brittle, causing breakage and an unhealthy appearance. Dull and damaged hair always looks older, regardless of the cut. The cultural association doesn't help either. The tight perm has become so strongly linked with a certain demographic that it's almost become a cliché. When younger people picture old lady hair, this is often the image that comes to mind. It's not about ageism. It's simply the reality that this style has become a hallmark of a particular era. For those who love volume and easy styling, there are much better alternatives. The modern pixie or textured lob offer low-maintenance style with a contemporary feel. If you love curls, ask your stylist about modern perm techniques that create loose, beach wave-like waves instead of tight spirals, or embrace your natural texture and work with the right products and cutting techniques. The third cut to avoid is long, straight, one-length hair. This may be hard to hear for anyone holding on to their length. The resistance is understandable. Many have resisted cutting for a long time. But here's the truth: long hair with no layers, texture, or shape is rarely flattering after 60 and can actually make you look noticeably older. Why does it age you? First, hair naturally thins with age, especially at the ends. Long, one-length hair emphasizes this thinning. You end up with fine, wispy ends that look unhealthy and aged. Second, the weight of long hair pulls everything downward, including your facial features. It creates a downward visual line that can make you look tired and worn. Third, long, straight hair often looks limp and lifeless, lacking the volume and vitality associated with youthful hair. There's also the issue of contrast. After 60, our skin loses firmness, and long hair hanging close to the softer contours of the face can emphasize sagging rather than draw attention away from it. The proximity of all that length to the neck and décolletage, areas that often show age first, directs the eye straight to them. Perhaps most importantly, extremely long hair can give the impression that you're trying to hold on to youth rather than embracing your current beauty. There's a difference between looking youthful and looking like you haven't accepted your age. Ironically, cutting your hair to a more fitting length often makes you look younger, because it signals confidence and presence in the moment. This doesn't mean you have to go super short if you love your length. The key is to add layers, especially around the face. Trim the thin, wispy ends and create healthy fullness. Add texture and movement throughout. Stop at collarbone length rather than letting it grow past the shoulders. These adjustments preserve some length while avoiding the aging effects of straight, one-length hair. Cutting hair that fell past the shoulders to a shoulder-grazing length with layers can be emotional, but the transformation is undeniable. The result looks fresher, more current, and yes, younger. The face suddenly has a beautiful frame instead of hair simply hanging down. To summarize briefly, embrace the textured lob, the modern pixie, or the shoulder-grazing shag. Avoid the straight, chin-length bob, the short, tight perm, and the long, straight, one-length style. What should really be taken away from all of this is this. Your hair is one of the most powerful tools you have for looking vibrant, current, and yes, younger. It frames your face, reflects light, creates movement, and sets the tone for your entire appearance. Choosing the right cut isn't vanity. It's authentic and confident self-presentation. The difference between a cut that ages you and one that rejuvenates you often comes down to just a few centimeters and some strategic techniques. Texture over stiffness, movement over rigidity, softness over severity, layers over uniform length, current over outdated. At your next salon appointment, you now have the knowledge to advocate for yourself. You can explain what you want and why. You can push back when the stylist suggests something that would make you look older. They are the technical experts, but you are the expert on how you want to see and feel about yourself. Your hair should excite you when you look in the mirror. It should give you confidence in photos. It should reflect the vibrant, alive woman you are, not an outdated idea of what it means to look age-appropriate, because the most age-appropriate thing you can do is show up as the best and most current version of yourself. You are far too fabulous to settle for anything less.